Okay, Umoya Ulight, Umoya Upright. Welcome to another Moya live stream. It's Africa Day today, so we did promise you guys that we are going to have a conversation around Africa, around African women, around the role of African women in Africa during in terms of the struggle, the liberation, the struggle for liberation, and where do we fit in? What's our role? I mean, I think it's always important that there is a continuous generational conversation going on, intergenerational conversation, so that we, the young ones, kind of know what is our role as women. I mean, looking at our history also, how has patriarchy played a part? We just lost our guest there, but we're just going to wait a little bit to get them back. But basically, guys, it's Africa Day today, and I don't know how you're feeling. I'm feeling a little bit bleak about it because things are not going as well as they should be, and the men are selling us. So we thought it would be important to just start having a conversation amongst women because yeah, things are not going the way they should be. So I asked some women, some mothers, to come and join me in a conversation on Africa Day and the role of women in the struggle for liberation. You saw that I just lost the guest. I'm hoping that they'll jump back on again. They were having problems. Just give me a second, guys. We are clearly having technicalities and issues. So I'm just waiting for the guests to come back on. I invited women from across. Let me just tell them to come through. And I mean, if there are women who would like to come and chat, let me put on the link for you guys so that should you wish to join today's conversation, then you can just plug that in. It's clear, right? So this is an invitation to women across Africa. If you happen to catch this live stream and you want to have a say about what is our role in the struggle for liberation, where do we fit in? I'm so glad we got you back, Mama Yaa. You're looking absolutely stunning. Standing. Thank you so much.
We have to look good for the battle. It's not yet Uhuru, but we have to look good for the battle.
It's certainly not yet Uhuru, Mama. So I mean, let's start right away. You've obviously you're maybe a generation above me, and you've witnessed some of the leadership over the years and decades. So what is our role as women in the struggle for African liberation?
Well, first of all, greetings to the wonderful Moya family, Moya Africa Day Special. We give thanks for the great Nzigi Mazwai, halala Kosikaz. I am joined actually in the presence of Princess Nikiwe Bam. And I also have a young person with me. She will join us just now. Unati Bam, Princess Nati Bam. So once again, we are in the 62nd gathering of the Black Africa Liberation Day. And notice I say Black Africa Liberation Day, because we know who needs to be liberated and we know who it is still not yet Uhuru for. So I was grateful when we got this platform to really have a conversation with women around the continent and in her diaspora. Excuse me, to say, what is this about? And how can we as women make sure that we are a part of the conversation that drives the agenda of liberation for Africa at home and Africans abroad? So this is a major call by the AU, and it draws the attention of the world to the historical task of addressing injustices such as the transatlantic slave trade, colonialism, apartheid, and genocide. This is the first of all the call to action, and it's a call for the unity of Africans globally, but also a notice for the world to be ready to address the reparatory justice globally. We still deserve the justice of reparations. The 2025 has become very interesting in the face of the USA administration's position of reclassifying white Afrikaners as the victims of genocide. And that is purportedly carried out by the South African government. This is a great example of historical revisionism, wherein the oppressor is now made the victim. This is nothing but a project of global coalition of right-wingers and neoliberalists whose agenda it is to see Africans remain drawers of water and hewers of wood. Principally, it is to enforce the continued exploitation of South Africa and Africa's resources. Excuse me. Humans in the form of cheap labor, minerals, and land without the irritation of broad-based transformation or sharing with the majority. In the 30th years left for the realization of Agenda 2063, implementation of this agenda has become very urgent. We cannot wait until 2063. If we are to transform Africa into a global economic and technological powerhouse, it must start to show how Africa must rise to meet the challenge set in Agenda 2063 for inclusive and sustainable development, integrating Africa and her diaspora as a force for good. We stop there to say the theme, justice for Africans and people of African descent, true, and I don't like the word descent. I am now revising that word and I'm saying people of African ascent, because we come from a high place. We did not descend to become the ancestral connection. So I want to change that descent and I say it is ascent. At the Institute of Africology, we are very clear that the objectives of the African Union, of the theme of the year for 2025, Justice for Africans, which speaks about strengthening the AU institutional frameworks. In order to do that, we have to establish what are those key mechanisms and who are the activists, who are the implementers of the African Diaspora Reparations Fund. The second objective of this year is operationalizing reparations as a flagship project. And that means convening strategic dialogues like this one and developing a framework for implementing reparations and racial healing initiatives as a flagship project. And I want to pause here, my sister Nzege, because, you know, we have not healed. 1,000 years of invasions, 1,000 years of bombardment, we are still yet to heal. And so we must find ways, and we must find the healers who are healing us, not just for the diseases of contemporary time, but the historic bloodline disease of what was done to us. The third one is developing an Africa common position. Excuse me, which means creating a unified stance on reparations, incorporating input from experts and the relevant stakeholders like women that are gathered here on this forum. The fourth one of the objective is mainstreaming reparations into developmental policies. And we think about the great spirit of Muammar Gaddafi. We call upon the spirit of the great Lumumba. We call upon all those who were assassinated because they wanted to implement, including the great Kwame Nkrumah, who were assassinated because they wanted to implement development policies and equipping Africans with the real development that are sustainable for where we are, not for where they want us to be. The fifth one is promoting a global engagement, organizing dialogues to advocate for reparations and repatriation, enhance public awareness and research on reparations and racial healing. Now, I know that we are the ones who need the healing because we have been dismantled. We have a connectivity, the Ma'afa, the ones who have been taken away from the continent need to return and need to be healed because they have spent the last 500 years not knowing where their loved ones are. And lastly, the seventh one, establishing knowledge and research centers to launch more educational programs, summer schools. You know, we need exchange programs. We always say as Africans, there is no robbery in exchange. And so we need to be more, committed to making sure that we are crossing cultures, especially amongst ourselves. Well, these are the objectives that are said to be the overall AU agenda this year of 2025. We need to make sure that our voices are amplified around reparations, around repatriation, but around knowledge about the importance of justice for African people at home and abroad. I would like to also say, to those who are listening, we have no other time but now. Kinako. And we are not waiting for permission, going with our hands, asking, is it time that we can start getting reparations? We must be very clear and committed. Marcus Garvey reminds us that if we are not organized, then surely we will be dismantled. One Africa, one unity, one aim, one destiny for us all. Africology without apology. Siyabonga.
Come on. Oh, Mom, do you want to introduce yourself? You forgot to introduce yourself so that people know who you are and where they can get you.
Greetings, African family. My name is Yaa Ashantewaa Archangidi. I am the founder, visionary of the Institute of Africology. And just on the 12th of May, the birthday of the great Professor Mazizi Konene, the writer of Emperor Shaka the Great, the mother, the wife to Mazizi, they have now renamed me Mama Nobantu. So that name will now carry on as part of the legacy of the return, the spirit of Nobantu. Seattle goes.
Damaku, thank you, Mom. I'm going to now hand over to the States. Mona, you'll introduce yourself and what you do and your thoughts on the role of women in the struggle for Africa. Hi, babe. Oh, unmute.
Yeah, how do you expect me to go after Mama Yaa? She said it all. I don't have any, like, what else can I add to that? Like,
Lady President, welcome. It's Garvey Day, so you can add much more to that. That's why I left out that part.
Okay, so hi everyone. Good morning. It's still morning here by us. My name is Mona Davids, and I'm the founder of Little African News as well as New York Voice newspapers. I'm originally South African, but I grew up here. My family moved to this country in the early 80s. Being South African, living here in the US and also being in the political and news space, it's really quite interesting for me to see how things are progressing on the continent, in South Africa, and throughout the rest of Africa. And, you know, Africa Day is an important day. We're supposed to be united in our diversity, but we're not united in our diversity. And I'm hoping that when we look at other folks from other African countries and we see what they're doing, and I'm just speaking as a South African, I hope we get to the point of other countries like Burkina Faso and those who have strong leaders, because what we need on the continent right now really is strong leaders. And we just don't have that. We don't have the Marcus Garveys who are willing to put us and our people first. We don't have Malcolm X who would put us and our people and just tell it like it is. We have a dearth of leaders, African leaders on the continent, just as how, you know, we're sorely lacking in Black leadership here in the US. And I'm hoping that with examples like Ibrahim Traore and others, that this is something that is going to change. The other thing is we celebrate Africa Day every year. We celebrate it here. We don't really do much in the US when it comes to Africa Day. In South Africa, yeah, maybe you have some parades. I think I saw some parade in Gauteng yesterday. But even for us, we don't really embrace Africa Day as we should. And I think that there needs to be work done around, year-round, when it comes to bringing us together. Because to be honest with you, every day should be Africa Day. So that's, you know, that's all I can contribute at this time. And, you know, I'm looking forward to the conversation that we're going to have today, a real talk conversation about our beautiful motherland and how we can all move forward as a people. And thank you, Nsiki, my sister, for this invitation.
Damagu. And then I didn't observe protocol properly, and welcome Her Royal Highness Princess Dr. Nikiwe. We don't even know how you do it. Do you say Ndabezita? Oh, I don't even know.
So I'm here with Princess Anatibam, who is our youth representative for the African Young Indigenous Leaders. So she is ready to also present if you have that, give her the time. Then I think Princess Nikiwe will be ready just after she's finished.
Thank you so much. Greetings, Your Royal Highness.
It's your turn.
Greetings, everyone. I'm Anati Bam, and I'm from African Young Indigenous Leaders. And as the representative of the youth, I would say Africa Day actually means to me that it's the day of unity, whereby we unite all Africans globally. The day whereby we celebrate each other, we do not discriminate each other, and we work together as Africans. The best part about Africa Day is that you are actually free to celebrate who you are. You know your roots, you know where you come from, and you allow other people to celebrate you as you celebrate others as well. And Africa Day means when we unite as Africans, we can do so much more. We got the power to change what we want to change. And it's actually the best day, but we don't need to celebrate it only once in a year. We actually need to celebrate Africans every day in a year, because we won't change to be Africans. Either you are Xhosa, either you are Zulu, either you are Ndebele, we are all still Africans. And we still share the same ancestor and the same bloodline. So therefore, we don't need to celebrate Africa Day only once. We need to teach our youth about their roots. We need to teach our youth how to respect other cultures, how not to discriminate other cultures. Just because you're Nigerian doesn't mean that you're different from us. Just because you're Xhosa doesn't mean you're different. We are all equal, we are all the same, and we shall respect each other equally.
What is your dream for Africa?
My dream for Africa is if Africa can work together and be united, we can change some laws here in South Africa and globally, because we are still compressed, we're still colonized, we haven't changed anything. The only freedom we have got is just to move around your own provinces, but then we still haven't had the right or the freedom to move around Africa. You can't go to Botswana without a passport, and you cannot cross to another province without paying a toll gate. So therefore, we need to change those. So if we can unite as Africans and become one, we can limit crime. That is actually allowing us to limit our movements. And for that, we can be united and have power over anything.
Thank you, madam. Thank you for blessing us. Dr. Nikiwe, are you ready, Princess? I don't know if you're having a network issue. There we go. Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, great. Greetings.
It's your turn now, Princess.
Tamago. Let me turn on the camera.
There we go. Yes, thank you.
Sathokoza. Tamago Sisintiki, our sister. Greetings to our guests also that are also here present today. I'm greeting you in the name of our queens, our warrior queens in the African continent, in the name of Queen Yaa Ashantewaa of the Ashanti Kingdom, who was exiled and killed in the island of Seychelles. I'm greeting you in the name of Queen Zinga of Angola. I'm greeting you in the name of great women who have fought for the struggle even after the colonization. We still experienced apartheid. We have a lot of women that have fought for the liberation of Africa and also of South Africa, as I am currently in South Africa. Let me introduce myself. I'm Princess Dr. Nikiwe, the founder and the global president of African indigenous leaders. We are still pushing it, Sister. You remember we met in Ekurhuleni for the launch the other day. So we are still here, we are still standing, and we are building the continent and the Africa that we want. Restoration of our African dignity and also of that of the kingdoms, who are the first governors and the first leaders of our ancient Africa. Ndingumangqabane ke ndingurhibele ubhabha nomhlehlo umeyo uncokazi umdachi nkosazana yamampondomise. Thank you so much, Sister, for hosting us today on this special day of African liberation, and also answering the role of the women in the liberation of Africa. So as I'm talking now, we know that before even we were colonized, the women have been there as the role players in the communities, the role players also in our society, in our families. Right now, we face a lot of challenges because of the imbalance in the family structure, because we have forgotten the role of the woman. We have forgotten who the woman is. And in our history, we were led by women. Women as the carriers of life, as the person that brings life to the earth. So it was never the fact that we are seeing now where men are always in the forefront. Men have to start things, everything that has to start must start with a man. Religion that has also put the man as the head of the families, if now we must be controlled. And then others say, no, the man is the head, the woman is the body. So I don't understand such languages, because at the end of the day, we know the role of a woman has always been there. That is why we have Queen Mantantisi, we have all these queens who actually stood up and fought for our liberation. They had fought the wars, the colonizers, the wars with the Portuguese, the wars with the Arabs, you know, every war that have taken place, the women have always been in the forefront. And we know even with our kingdoms right now, right, with the civil wars, the tribal wars, women had always played a role because in a fight, once the women come in the forefront, the people will not attack women. They will not continue with the war. So, and we know even in our culture today, I always make an example of us having a blanket as a woman. When there's fire, what do you use? A blanket. When there's war, and then you lift up the blanket and all that. So things will actually become still because the women have stood up and said no. So with that being said, there is a huge role. Even with when you read about different battles here, you find that women have carried food, they've carried water, and they sometimes, if the men don't want to actually participate, they will just send women so that the other group will know that they cannot attack women. So even now, I think there is some sort of a strategy that has de-empowered women so that we can be in a state where we are today. Today we can talk of GBV. Culturally, these things never existed. Because in Xhosa, there is a word that says, a phrase that says that, Induku ainamzi, meaning that a stick has no home. That means if you are a man and then you keep on lifting a stick and beating a woman, you cannot build a home, you cannot build a house, you cannot build that family. And we know that even culturally, as a man, if you had paid lobola to a woman and then you start abusing that woman, and she goes home because she's not here to be beaten up or anything and abused, she goes home, you will have to pay a fine. That means you'll take cows and go and pay for that woman to come back. It's like you are paying another lobola. So that is why men will not do such things, because they know that it will cost them. So some people take women for granted and they don't pay attention to what our forefathers have done. People now, they start to be bold and think that, no, if I'm a man and this and that. So we have those power struggles. But what I want to say is that, like Yaa Ashantewaa have presented a very powerful presentation here. Women have always been there. And I remember when I was just listening to the Power of the Name, in the recent event that was hosted on a geographic name system, Dr. Shabalala Mamukhanyisile was speaking very powerfully there. Also mentioning that we never had a patriarchal system. We know we have always been led by queens. We know we had queendoms as well. But today, people are just fighting for nothing because they undermine us. They are not well educated. They don't know who we are. They don't even know who they are themselves. So as we talk about Africa today, we have suffered. We need healing. I agree with Yaa Ashantewaa. We need healing. We need reconciliation. We need the restoration of the spiritual powers of the women. And there were many examples even that were made that day about how many homes are named about women. Kuklomama kabani, kukwamabani. You'll never hear people saying kukwatatubani in a home. You will hear people saying kukwamangqabane pha, kukwamamqwat, you know, because even as a man, you cannot have a homestead without a woman. In Xhosa, we say that uhlala enxiweni, because as indoda, you need umfazi ukuze ube nomuzi. That means as a man, you need a wife to have a family, a home. So we know that even culturally, if you don't have a wife, you don't sit around the kraal with men who have got wives. So that should also be telling us something about our cultures. Because you cannot reply and deliberate on discussions if you don't have a wife, because when you have a wife, it means that you are complete. You have a woman, you have a leader in the homestead We are not just there for the sake of being there. We are there to give you your leadership role, because you cannot lead without a woman. Where are you taking the wisdom? Where are you taking your spiritual powers? Who is giving you the strength behind? It means that you need that woman to guide you, even as a leader, as a man in the house, because you don't lead anything as a man if you don't have a woman, and you cannot sit and deliberate. We know for sure that even with presidents, there is the first lady. With kings, there must be a queen. We cannot coronate a king without having a queen. Who is going to look after the nation? Who's going to build the nation? These are the roles of women. These are roles of women. And even at church, you mean people who go to church, you cannot be a pastor and be ordained without a woman. Who are you going to lead? How are you going to lead your family if you don't have someone who is actually the leader? I mean, the real leader in the family is a woman. How can you have children if you are just a man by yourself? And if you have children, of course, it means that now you start to have a family. You start to lead with that woman, of course, taking the role of grooming those children, of grooming yourself as a man. So culturally, I mean, I don't know what to say, but we know it's just that people sometimes they turn a blind eye, they want power and all. And they also want to say that, no, you are fighting for 50-50, then you must do this. There are many things that we can do as women, but we were never given an opportunity to do those things because we have been afraid. They've installed a fear on us to say you cannot lift a brick, you cannot lift this, but we can. I grew up with my father, and there's no work that I was not doing because I was a girl. Actually, at home, we were very equal. We'll make bricks with mud. We'll take the bricks when he's building a house. We'll make the mud for the plastering and everything. We'll take a hoe to the field and do the weeds. So there's no job that was for girls or for boys. We're herding cattle. So it's our families that we are spoiling, and then we start to separate, so that now we demean the girl child, we demean the woman power. But this is where the wisdom is. This is where the real power is. This is where the spirituality, this is where the guidance of any family comes from. That is why City Togoza Koko, because it comes also with the women. You know, the spirituality is there. So I just want to say that there is a role that needs to be played by women like it has been before. We just need to restore that. We just need to revive that and also educate our people. Like Ma was saying, that we need many centers. We need to encourage even women in the countries where they are looked down at. I recently contributed to an anthology for women in Angola. So where I was actually motivating and writing about these women that have fought, to say that as women, we must look back into our history. We must take these women who have been there, who have fought the strugglers, who have fought for the liberation of Africa, who have fought like Queen Nani in Jamaica, you know where Mama Yaa comes from. She's embraced there because she was rebellious. They rebelled for slavery, and then they formed the community there that is called the Community of the Maroon People. It was led by Queen Nani of the Maroons. That's why we have powerful women in Jamaica like Mama G, who are actually indigenous people who are actually there to guide us and to guide us spiritually. So I'm just saying that as women, we must not say we had a role. We still have a huge role to play. And for this continent to unite and move forward, we need to restore the dignity of the women and their spirituality. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for that inspiring contribution. Aish, it's such a pity we just lost Mama Mbeke. She is actually out in London. It's the March for Traore out in London. So she had joined in, but I see that we lost her. Hopefully she'll charge her battery or something or be able to come back so that she can contribute. I think it's Sis Adeyinka. Mama Adeyinka, can I hand the mic over to you, please? Hi, Mama Adeyinka. Okay, maybe you've still got nerves. Can I go to Sis RaEbony? Oh, there we go. Adeyinka, are you ready to contribute on the struggle? Okay. Ah, there we go. Thank you. Now we've got you. Thank you so much for joining the session. Mom, can we give the mic over to you for your contribution?
Yes, please. Thank you so much and greetings, everyone. We know that every woman is created with a peculiarity that cannot be
Mom,
ignored.
before you go in, can I
And
ask you
it
to
is said
introduce
that,
yourself? Could you introduce yourself before you jump
okay.
in, and where you
My name
where
is,
you're from?
okay. Okay. My name is Adeyinka Adeyefa. I am a lawyer. I'm a lawyer and human rights educationist, and then I'm the founder of Open Life Educational Center, human rights. Our educating NGO and human rights advocating NGO, particularly on the rights of women, children, youths, and prisoners. And also, I'm the General Secretary of Africa Diaspora Union. That is an organization that is established by Professor Chidebere Ogbu, that with membership throughout the whole world, and we look into the protection of the rights of Africans all over the world. So I'm very glad to be here. Thank you for the invitation, and it's a pleasure being here. So is it safe to continue?
Yes, it's safe. Thank you so much, Mom.
Okay, thank you very much. So I was saying that the female breed is the one that was specially created by God, carved out of the rib of a man. And the role of a woman in starting from the family setting to the to the local community, and then talking about the international setting, and then now we're talking about the women coming forward to save the African society, the African race. We know that a lot of damages have been done to the African people, and our African pride has been taken away from us. You know, I was reviewing a video today and I was really heartbroken seeing how much demeaning actions were done to we Africans. Now, these errors have been there in the past, and then though we may think that it has been eradicated, but the truth of the matter is that these violations still exist in some forms, and also the effect of the damaging effect of this things, that violations that were suffered by the African people still lingers in the African mindset, even up to the next generation. And so it is our duty as women. We have the peculiarity, we have the power inherent in us apart from our academic achievements and all. God has given us the power to be able to breathe life. And so it is our duty to now rebirth a new African pride, a new African pride in every child. I was with Mama Yaa in South Africa, and I saw what she's doing with the children. That's where we should start from. Start from your children in the house, and then next to the children in the community, and then we can now talk about influencing Africans themselves. Because I think the fundamental area we need to fight from is making Africans themselves respect themselves as Africans and respect fellow Africans. Because we have lost our dignity, and even though we have gained our independence, we are claiming that we are free, we are independent. Regardless of that, mentally we are still slaves. Every Nigerian, let me now refer to, since I'm in Nigeria, every Nigerian will prefer getting a foreign a product to an African one. That is why I loved the idea of the African Day when I heard you have to buy something African, you have to eat something African. That's where we start from. And this education, this rebirth, this re-enlightenment, and this how would I say now? Renewing, yes, the renewing of the mind should start from us women and from us homes, because like it or not, forget the fact that the men, they have the muscles, they have the power, they have the will. We have the energy, and that's magical twist to influence things starting from our home. And right from our homes, you light these candles in your homes and then extend it to the society, to your neighborhood, and then the community as a whole. And then we can now talk about the state or province, and then we talk about the country as a whole, and then Africa. Because like it or not, this is a problem that is, and something must be done about it. And we should see it. I don't forget what the men are doing, all the documents, all the declarations of human rights declare. No. We should reignite and re-emphasize the essence of the Ubuntu principle. And we should start living it. And then I believe that once this principle, which is the original African power, the original African form, and original African code of living, once this principle can be a part of every African, we are going places. We are already in places, but we are physically in places, but our minds are still a little bit wavy. So we need to make this change. We are not going to be deceived by what we see, because underneath, there is a lot of work to be done. Because if you want to destroy a man, if you want to destroy a society, you want to destroy a people, you start with your mindset. And our mindset, there's still a lot of work we need to do on that. Let us teach our girls. I told Mama Yaa, I told her that when I was in South Africa, for the time I was around her, I was ashamed of the braids I had on and everything, because I was thinking, why does I have why am I not proud of my natural hair? You understand? So we should teach our girls to be proud of their African hair, their African hairstyles, their African kinky hair, and then their outfit. But because these people, they love these things and they come down here. The Chinese, they're here, they're learning how to make our weaves, our African weaves. And then they are going out there they are going to how would I say, make them an industrialized quantity, and then bring it back to us, and then because it's coming from the white man, we will now start wearing more of it. That is what the slavery mentality is doing to us. We need to start teaching our children not only to know these things, but now to be ambassadors. Like I said, it's a question of lighting one candle and the next candle, and then the next candle lights the next candle. And that is how we can an African principle, an African code back in our society, and have a restoration of the African people. And this duty behoves on we, the women, because we are the one God sent and God enabled to do this. But we shy away from this duty, we shy away from this responsibility, we shy because we think we're not strong enough, we're constantly reliant on the men. We have a lot of challenges in the society that are keeping us, that are holding us back from being who we are supposed to be. But we should be able to stand regardless of these challenges. You should see that where we have lots of men, once a strong woman of a strong feminine voice is in the room, they would keep quiet and listen. That is the power that God has given to a woman. Forget the physical attraction. Even the physical attraction can be used to distract them while you're going places. That is the power God has given a woman. And until we know that we have this power, and then we harness this power, and then we use it the way we are supposed to use it, it is and would be a shame on us if our families, our society, our immediate society, community, and even people that have met us or gone through us, and their lives could have been changed or by one way or the other, they are not, because we are shy to be who we are supposed to, who we are as women, and the duty that lots of damages have been done and are still being done by our silence. It is time for us to ignore whatever challenges we're having. And the good part of it is that we are coming together as sisters, as women from different parts of the world. And we have this singular objective. And so together we can fight these challenges and break through and be able to holding hands together, achieve a redeemed African. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. A reminder to the speakers to please do say where you are linking in from, because it's so exciting to be global African women amongst each other. Sisri Aboni Ashley, or RaEbony Ashley. Now I feel like a white person. Please introduce yourself, what you do, where you're from, and unpack the role of women in the struggle. Hi.
Grand
Please
rising
say
to
something.
each and
Please
everyone
say
on
something before she starts.
absolutely.
So, we have lady presidents who are designated to work on the setting up of chapters across the United States. And so I am very proud to share this platform with Lady President RaEbony, a beautiful sister, and I think she deserves to be acknowledged for the work that she's doing in that United Snakes to make sure that the work of Marcus Garvey is known. I really take my hat off for you, but I do not envy. I just wanted to say, so we have perspective of who is in the room. Lady President, salutes.
I thank you so much. Thank you so much, Queen Sister Yaa. I, I'm, my name is Sister RaEbony Ashley. I'm the Lady President of the Universal Negro Improvement Association and African Communities League here in Delaware, in the United States. Even though even though I'm the Lady President of the Delaware division, I cater my services to each and every one of my chapters everywhere. Um, and I just want to say this really quick. The Universal Negro Improvement Association and African Communities League is a social, friendly, humanitarian, charitable, educational, institutional, constructive, and expansive society, and is founded by persons desiring to the utmost to work for the general uplift of the Negro peoples of the world. And the members pledge themselves to do all in their power to conserve the rights of their noble race and to respect the rights of all mankind, believing always in the brotherhood and sisterhood of man and woman and the fatherhood and womanhood of God. I just put that in there. The motto of the organization is one God, one aim, one destiny. Therefore, let justice be done to all mankind, realizing that if the strong oppresses the weak, confusion and discontent will ever mark the path of man. But with love, faith, and charity towards all, the reign of peace and plenty will be heralded into the world, and the generations of men shall be called blessed. That is our preamble into the Universal Negro and Improvement Association. Um, that is something that as that keeps me going, that keeps me motivated to continue to do what I do. Um, just to jump on the subject about empowering women, just listening to the discussions before me are just so powerful. I don't even know what else to say because it's the same thing. We might be from different places, but it's the same thing. We might eat our food in a different way. We might cook it in a different way, but we are the same people. It's the same thing. My hair look just like yours. It's the same thing. It's and the only difference is that we are just now getting in concert with one another to talk about it. We have been in a certain European colonialism that has literally caused walls between each and every one of us from each and every portions of the world because of colonial control. And now we are in a place, we are in a time of technology where the walls are broken, where the resources are here, the opportunities are here. And now the biggest problem that we have is the mindset of our own people. People won't let go of what they're comfortable with, what they're used to. So my strides as lady president and just as a leader, as a mother, because before I do any of this, I got 3 sons in there. and and be honest with you ladies, teaching my sons and raising my sons how I'm raising them opens my eyes to the general people, just how men are, how people are, because the same way, the same nurturing, the same understanding I have to do for them, I have to do for grown-ups. I have to do the same thing for grown folks. So so like just like the sister said, beautiful sister, powerful message. It starts at home. It starts right here with me. I can't go outside and say, oh, do this and all we have to be and all we should be if I'm not should be and not doing it at home. So I take a lot of pride on how I raise my children. I take a lot of pride in my prayers. I take a lot of pride in um being at one with the universe, with God, because when I'm alone in my quiet time, I hear him. And a lot of doctrines, it says that the woman is full of wisdom. The woman has it in her. In her, she will not fail. She is the barrier of life, and so on and so forth. Life sprouted from her, the female tree, and so on and so forth. I take that that is me, and God uses that out of me. Like he shows me that you are a tree of life, and he shows me women like you who are trees of life. These women bear good fruit. They have good fruit. They have good fruit to bear. And guess what? It's more of you like this. It's more of you, and and like like Queen Yaa said, in the in the United Snakes of America, they they corrupt the mindset of the black people. They try to, because we live here with them, like they live here with us, next door to us, and all type of stuff, and they want to befriend us. So when they try to befriend us, they be like, oh yeah, and that, and oh yeah, and the energy is the vibrations, the body, everything. They just, so knowing that, is about the knowing, being aware. Now we're in a place of, when we see that happening, now the sisters look at each other like, okay, bye. And we move on, we get out the way. So it's taking it all back. It's about my doing the work from the inside out. I can't like my whole plight and what I'm doing is being the change that people want to see. I take care of my children a certain way that's respected in the neighborhood because I enjoy it. I enjoy taking care of my children. I enjoy cooking for them. And I enjoy when people see it. Like, this is what you do. Like, yeah, this is what I do. Because at first, it was where I'm from, this is how it's embedded in our minds to take care of yourself, take care of your children. Don't let anybody mistreat you or your family. Don't let anybody mistreat all of that good stuff. And then you come to a place where they have been stripped of that. They've been stripped of knowing thyself. They've been stripped of um having the science of finding the resources for themselves. And now being in a place of leadership, just not only being the lady president of the Universal Negro Improvement Association, but also being the CEO and founder of Utopia Success Group, which is was a nonprofit where we are the leading dynamic in human resources. My nonprofit offers everything from childcare. It's still under, don't get me wrong, it's still under it's still under development because we're building it to be international. But this my nonprofit offers everything from childcare resources, emergency housing, all the way down to the health clinics and the dental clinics. That's free for the members because this is what a government does. This is when people pay into something. This is something they should see. I'm gonna say this, and I'm not gonna be long-winded. I'm gonna get off. Um, the Universal Negro Improvement Association, the African Communities League, founded by Marcus Mosiah Garvey in 1914, 1918, 1929 of the world, has several auxiliaries. One auxiliary, two auxiliaries, three auxiliaries. That's three auxiliaries that I am chairman of and that I take personal pride in is the Black Cross Nurses. The Black Cross Nurses is an auxiliary founded by the women's of the by the women's of the UNIA to serve in the health field in the medical sector of the Black communities. So in my division, I train actual certified nurses assistants where they train with us and they go off to the state and they take their tests where they can work anywhere they want to in the United States. That's what my division does. Also, we train for medical billing and coding. That's another that's another job in the health field that you can go and work anywhere in any institution. And the licensed practicing nurse. You also get that training here with us. And we also teach holistics. That's just, teaching of the natural herbs and all that good things. We teach those things in the Black Cross Nurses. That's one program that we offer. The second program that we offer is the Motor Corps program. The Motor Corps is a female armed transportation auxiliary where we train, and we actually dub the training for the men, which is the which is it's called the Universal African Legion. That's what it's called. The men's version is called the African Legion. So they have the women go through a training of where they learn how to the gun maintenance, gun awareness, gun safety, gun handling. They learn how to shoot and they get their license to carry through the state. They actually go through a driving program because it's a transportation program because though it's just like the CIA. The women support because everything that Marcus Garvey did to build the UNIA government for the Negro peoples of the world is just like any other government. So we have all the functionings just like any other government. So the Motor Corps is just like the CIA. So we have the gun maintenance gun. When you get your gun license, you actually get your driver's license. If you never had a driver's license, we teach you how to drive. We give you your CDLs, your commercial driver's license. When you drive the big trucks, you get those licenses and you learn how to drive a motorcycle too, because you never know when we might need you to be a ninja. That's what I say on that. So that's the first 9 weeks. The second 9 weeks is the gun patrol. The third 9 weeks is self-defense because a lot of our women in that Motor Corps program are the drivers and they drive a lot of important people like the President General. If y'all come from out the country, I will come get you. I need to be armed and I need to, walk just like armed security. And the women are trained to protect themselves. So they have the self-defense where you go through 9 weeks, hold them back. And then the last 9 weeks is basic car mechanics, where they teach you how to change the tires, change the oil, change the brakes. Because when you're driving these cars and you're in transportation with these important people, something happens to this car, you need to be knowledgeable how to get that car off the road for your safety. So all of this stuff that we teach in my division, and I'm building this platform so everybody everywhere can do it, because you don't have to recreate the wheel. Marcus Garvey did this 100 years ago. All we have to do is just turn the keys, just like the ladies, just like the madam said. All we have to do is reactivate this. All we have to do is just come back to it, because it's already here and it's been here. Now we have, like I said, we on a great. I'm gonna get back to it. Oh, well, that was also programs. I'm done. I'm gonna start rambling. I don't mean to, because this is such a beautiful advantage to be here and to share these strategies and how we can grow globally. Now it's just not about what we doing here in the USA. Now we could talk about what goes on here in the USA. It's not an assumption anymore. I don't have to assume what y'all doing in South Africa no more. Now I can talk to South Africans. I don't have to worry about Senegalese people or the Tanzanian women or the Ghanaians, so on and so forth. I can name all of them, but I don't have to. We are at a time and space where these conversations can happen, and I'm just so excited. So I'm just gonna leave it there. Thank you for your time. Thank you for letting me speak. Thank you for letting me hold the room. Race first, and God bless. Thank you.
Thank you so, so much. What a privilege it is to hang out with beautiful women from all over the world. I do see you, but I'm going to have to follow African protocol where I have to allow your elder. So Sis Buhle Chomela, and then we'll have Ashe. Good evening, Sis Buhle. Oh, you unmute there? Please unmute. Why don't we have your sound? Or is it just me? Can you guys hear Buhle? I can't. Buhle, you're not audible. Yeah, look, I got my earphones. Please log off and log on again. Okay, cool. There we go. Ashe, you've got very strong ancestors. Ashe Amewa, good afternoon or morning, depending on where you are. Oh, okay. I think she didn't mean to be on the panel. Oh, she thinks that I was telling her. Buhle, Sis Buhle, do you want to log off and log on again? We can't hear you. Awuzwakali. I think Ashe thought I was talking to her. That's so cute. Hi, Ashe. I think you can jump in. How are you, babe?
Chakozani, so you can
Tamaku,
hear
thank
me,
you for
Susie?
joining. Now we can hear you, yes.
I just wanted to say, first of all, since like, I don't know if I'll ever get a chance to say this, but I am the biggest fan. Duktanda, I am so grateful for your being. Thank you for the years that you put in. Siyabulela, Sisi, thank you. I am part of the Gen Z girlies, so you are the folks that have sharpened our minds. Yeah. Nislolile, Sisi, ndiyabulela. I am uAsemahle uMachezi Majalambi Njilanjila Selwandle konjani emnyama ecanda iziziba. I am an artist. I would like to think of myself as a connoisseur of the African soil. I would like to echo my queens, what they've said prior. This year I have planned to relocate to West Africa, Benin to be specific, Benin Republic, and what Queen Bam had spoke about with regards to moving within the at the African continent, it's something that has been driving me insane because I quit my job. I sold everything, was packing. I did my research, went to the embassies. There aren't necessarily any structures to assist with South Africans relocating to West Africa. I go there, I'm excited. I book the ticket, and then you're not allowed to board because it's a one-way ticket. They say you can't have a one-way ticket to West Africa as a South African. You have to have a return. I'm like, the whole point of me going is I don't know anyone there. That's the point. That's the point of the relocation. But that had been very frustrating. So now they're saying you have to get a visa, and on the visa application they want the number of someone in Benin. I'm like, again, the point of the moving is so that you can experience different worlds, different. Yes, that had been frustrating a little bit. Yes, I would say for me, how I view the role of women and what I have seen, I would like to say, like, South African women, me, I'm very privileged to have been grown up in the country that I grew up in with the people that I have to look up to, because the women, I feel the feminine energy is very intuitive. The feminine energy connects, it's an antenna to the divine. We are the ones that bring forth the future. Sitas Bonai. We are able to see the future and bring it forth. And because of the human condition of existing in the 3D, at times, what we speak into may not be seen, or it may not be recognized as something that can be accomplished. But the role of the woman is to bring forth the future. The role of the woman is we are liberators. We are connoisseurs from the olden days. And the project that I'm working on currently, I would like to also echo the queen who has spoken before me. But the day and age that we live in currently is the one that our ancestors that bebekitela ngayo. Today I'm able to, if I want to create art, if I want to create music, I want to create culture, I'm able to get on a call, talk to someone in West Africa in real time, create with someone in Central Africa in actual real time. This day and age that we live in, there isn't an excuse that we can have to not propel Africa forward. Africa needs to be. We have to take back our power. Africa has so much potential, and for me, my journey is to unlock why that isn't occurring. And the whole point of me moving to West Africa is so that I build a bridge. We build bridges where the colonizers thought they could build borders. we build bridges so that we can connect with each other, because the power is within our collaboration. The power is within the unity, and I'm certain I am just, sorry, my little one is here. I'm certain I'm just speaking on what has been spoken before, but that's truly where it lies. It lies in the collaboration. It lies in, I sometimes feel as before I would see as, I feel as South Africans, we can see Ngati, we are an island, everyone wants to come to us. And it's like, bruh, get off your high horse, you'll get a nosebleed. Like this, you can get so much if you go within Africa. Africa is rich. If we take ourselves and we embed ourselves within the soil, we are the tree life. It is within us. Thank you, sis.
Thank you, my dear. Thank you so much. It's nice to have a youthful voice. Sis Butle, are you ready to jump in? We still can't hear you again. Oh my gosh. And I know you would have had such a fire contribution. Oh no. Ugh, yeah. Please try from your laptop if you can. Oh, then try it on your phone. Try on your phone. Yeah, try on your phone. Okay, cool. So while we wait for Sis Butle to do that, I just got two questions, ne? The first one is for Mona, because you mentioned that we don't have Steve Biko's, we don't have Marcus Garvey's anymore. So what does that mean for women? If there are no figures like that, then what does that mean for us? And then for Sis RaEbony, I was asking about this project you're working on, and when you keep referring to the Marcus Garvey book, and this system. Because we are not all privileged enough to be conscientized, can you also unpack what it is exactly and how it can be replicated across different countries? So I'll give to Mona and then Sis RaEbony.
Thanks, Sinsiki. Just quickly, when I first spoke earlier and you had me go after Mama Yaa, who no one can even say anything once she speaks, but yeah, I just wanted to just quickly add something to that. When I spoke earlier, something really big that I forgot to include and to mention because I went after Mama Yaa. But I want to add this. Like I said, I grew up in New York. You know, I've been here since the early 80s, since I was a child. And, you know, we're talking about women. And I wanted to just add that in this country, and for Black Americans and others from the Caribbean that I grew up with, the woman, when people thought of a powerful Black woman, it was always Mama Winnie who came first and foremost to mind. And growing up in New York in the 80s, you know, while apartheid was still going on, I can tell you for a fact, if it wasn't for Winnie Mandela, nobody would have given a flying kite about what was going on in South Africa. So that one woman is the reason why South Africa and Nelson Mandela were on the map and front and center in the minds of folks in this country. If it wasn't for Winnie Mandela, you wouldn't have had all the protests, all the mobilization to end apartheid in South Africa. So when we're talking about women, let me be straight with real talk. Really, that woman, as far as I'm concerned, and as far as just about everybody in this country, in the US is concerned, there wouldn't be no so-called free South Africa if it wasn't for Winnie Mandela. And that's a fact. So whatever is happening in that country, where we are, it wouldn't be if it wasn't for Winnie Mandela. And to me, she is one of the most powerful liberators for Africans. But coming back to your question, just remind me what your question is again, because I have mommy fog.
I was just asking that since we are saying that there are no radical men in the forefront, so what does that mean for us women?
It means us women need to step up again and handle our business. It means that this is the time where we as women take up our leadership in this struggle, in this fight, liberating the continent. And I see it happening. I see it happening in Tanzania. I see it happening in Namibia. I mean, the Namibian president has made education, tertiary education, free. Like, the woman is doing things that in South Africa they've been pushing for, in other countries they've been pushing for, but she's accomplishing it. And she's only been president a few weeks. So, you know what? If you want to get something done, then you get a woman to do it. And this is what we need. And in South Africa, we need a woman president. We don't need any more men being presidents of the country. We should have had a woman president with, you know, Mrs. Zuma. That's what we should have had. That was when we were supposed to have our female president. So that's what we need. We need women to take over. We have strong men, but they're very few and far between today. But we have the women, and the women are fearless. So if we women can stand up strong, we are the ones that give birth. We are the leaders. We give birth to men. That's how deep it is. We don't just give birth to women. We give birth to men. So that's what Africa needs. Africa needs women leaders, and we need to cultivate women leaders. That's my answer to that.
Amen. And we're starting to wrap up now because this was only meant to go for an hour, but we've been going. It's so wonderful. Sis RaEbony, do you want to break that last little bit down for us?
Absolutely. That's the most important key. It's just remembering who we are and remembering the strives that we have for us. See, this is the thing here in America. The black woman is considered the white man's secret weapon. And once we step outside of taking the resources and just being comfortable in that and actually doing a whole 360 or doing a 180, as I like to say, because 360 is a circle, but 180 I can just turn around. But if I just turn around and put those resources where they're really needed and really implemented, you'll see a whole dynamic change. A strategy that I can't say, I have to say it in private places, but it works. And it's for us to lock into these different components of several ways to skin a cat, if I should say. That's how we say here in the States, here in the South. It's several ways to do different things. If we just remember how strong we are, like just perfect example, just like Winnie Mandela. Winnie Mandela stood up to them folks and said, well, I remember one video, and it was and they just had arrested the children, or just put some children on a bus, like they were just taking them somewhere. And when it was like, where are you taking these children? Why are you taking them? What made you put them there? And that's all it took. She was just a stride. She was just a force in herself. That's all it takes. Ask the question. Sometimes we get so caught up in being oppressed that we forget to fight back. These people just like we people. These folks just like we folks. So as long as we remember what we have, we are the most wisest beings on the planet, and I'm gonna be brief. I'm gonna try to hurry up with this, but we have given ourselves so much to our children. Meaning, like my grandmother, my mama, even me with my own, we have been so uh pes pasmatic, so pasmatic about it, just so pass aggressive about it. Like, oh, okay, yo, no, they'll pass. Okay, long as they're quiet, or as long as we have to stop. We have to stop giving them the benefit of the doubt. We have to stop just making sure that we're pacifying our people. We have to stop doing that just for the sake of peace. Nope. Sometimes you have to shake it up a bit. And I'm all for shaking it up a bit, because with that comes change. Even if, just like I said, even with Winnie Mandela, when she was just fighting back that little bit, that caused a ripple in the universe, all because of the vibrations of her voice. That's all you need. And so many doctrines of like so many transcripts of religion and spirituality, it talks about the vibrations of your mouth. Your tongue is your weapon. That's all we need. I don't need a physical force to fight you. Guess what? The white man don't need a physical force to fight you. He does it with his voice. He does it with his looks. That's all we need. That's why we are the white man's secret weapon, because we're beautiful, we're alluring, we have like this black girl magical, all this other stuff they want to categorize us as, which is none of their business with the power we hold. And we need to remember that too. So we have to revamp ourselves from the inside out, but we have each other now. We have each other now. So that's the positive things to look forward to. We have each other now. We have the courses, we have the curriculums, we have the resources, we have the advantage, we have the opportunity. So I'm excited. So I just wanted to say that. Race first, y'all. Thank you.
Thank you, but you didn't answer the question quite about the strategy, the Marcus Garvey, because it sounds as if like whatever you're running that side has to do with self-determination as people. So what is this blueprint that we can now start trying out? Where do we find these works?
The UNIA ACL has a constitution. And we also have a Declaration of Negro Rights. We also study from the universal, we also study the Message to the People, Courses of African Philosophy, given by Marcus Mosiah Garvey. This is the closest thing to literature besides the Negro World and the Whirlwind that he has completed in his time. So we have study courses where we study the Constitution, where we study the philosophies and opinions, and we study race first. And all of these doctrines, all of these transcripts, they give you the inspiration of how and what to do. So, just for instance, let me read you something: the aims and objectives in our constitutions of the Universal Negro Improvement Association. The objects of the Universal Negro Improvement Association and African Communities League shall be to establish a universal confraternity amongst the race, to promote the spirit of pride and love, to reclaim the fallen, to administer and assist the needy, to assist in civilizing the backward tribes of Africa, to assist in the development of Negro nations and communities, to establish commissaries of agencies in the principal countries and cities of the world for the representation and protection of all Negroes, irrespective of nationality, to promote a conscientious spiritual worship amongst the native tribes of Africa, to establish universities, colleges, academies, and schools for the racial education and culture of the people, to conduct a worldwide commercial and industrial intercourse for the good of the people, and to work for better conditions in all Negro communities. So that's the basic aims and objectives right there. You see what I'm saying? And it goes on and on. So to answer that question, that question is is a broad question, but like I said, I can say this. June 1st, we are having an info session and we are going over so much information about the Universal Negro Improvement Association and the scheduling for the year and the year to come. And I would like to invite everybody here to come so that you can get the assessment of how the Universal Negro Improvement Association African Communities League works for all of us. We all are protected by the red, black, and green. Every country, every African country stands with the red, black, and green. That was the whole point of, because, okay, in politics, I'm a politician by trade. I sat on the city council for 2016, 2020. When the whole dynamic of order and structure is about paperwork. That is how Marcus Mosiah Garvey conquered so much in his time. He worked on the press. Everything he did, he had the Negro World where he was getting the word out. That's how he organized up to 12 million people worldwide. The Black Star Line and the shares is what funded him in his travels, and the membership, of course, from the people. But it was his organization through this paperwork that got him the results that he needed. So we have workshops and we have seminars and we have lectures that teaches our people how to go to Congress, like how to go to the White House, how to even go to the world courts. That's something I'm working on now, is how we get to the Netherlands to report things here in the United States, because being a Black American, we fall under the white American Constitution, if that makes sense. That's why Marcus Garvey created the Negro Declaration of Rights and the Constitution. Because if I was to get lynched, or God forbid, like my brother or somebody like that get hurt by somebody white, it's plausible under the white Constitution. That's why we have no justice here. Now we have justice. We take this justice and we go to the proper people. That's why it's when you're establishing sovereignty, you have to be recognized by several countries. We recognize, baby. So we take that and we go to the Netherlands, and we take all this on paper. We have it reported, piece for piece, time for time, bracket for bracket, pictures, everything. I'm talking about screenshots, recordings, everything. You take all of this and you take all the people who support this, all, because it's all about numbers, it's all about signatures, it's all about paperwork. How many pieces of paper can you get to support your theory? How many people can you get to support what you saying is wrong? Because if you, it's only 5 of y'all, but it's 1,000,002 white people saying this is what we supposed to do for them, they're gonna go with the majority. So now we have in a place where we're teaching them that that is not right, and it's never been right, and it's never supposed to be right. Now we could change that because like it's just time for change, and this is how you go about it. So we are in works of training the people, because it's one thing to know it, it's one thing to know the steps, but it's another thing to know the signs about how to go about the steps. So that's what we're doing in the UNIACL. We are training our people to be more uh political, like more conscious of the political system and how to get your voices heard and how to make it count, not just by voting, because people come here and vote and don't know how to vote because they think they go to the voting polls and vote for one thing. No, it's like 40 questions on there. You have so many things to vote for. So it's just about educating our people, allowing them to know that these opportunities are available for you, and you have a right to know it, and you have a right to put in your voice about it. So that's how we do it. I hope that answered it. I hope that answered it. First.
Thank you. Thank you. It does. We're just going to Google that, and then you'll also send me the link for the 1st of June so that we can learn more. Sis Butle, is your thing working now? Can you unmute?
Please, you need to let me know.
Yes, we can hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Ladies, evening, morning, everywhere.
Oh no, your
come and engage.
network though.
My network, it's okay. Can you hear me?
Okay, now we can.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I even went to the car outside because I'm trying to. Okay, thank you. I'm saying thank you so much for letting me being part of this discussion with women from all over. Thank you so much. That's power. But yeah, for me, I'm sure I'm going to start on a different foot because to me, before we can even achieve what we wish to achieve in relations with liberation of a Black person as women, we need to start first by talking this segregation that is amongst us, Mami, if you understand, because we have a lot of segregation as women. And yet we want to advocate for women. So I would say if we can let women segregation to fall, then we can have women advocacy. After women advocacy, then we can achieve whatever liberation that we want to achieve, because we are power. That's the thing that I'm really, really concerned about, because our role, our duty is to nourish, it's to teach, it's to build, it's to make sure that the ones that are coming found everything is sustainable, not even citizen, if you know what I mean. So my thing would be, if we can start about defeating the segregation amongst us as women of this world, then we can come up with something. So yeah, I'll leave it at that for now. And thank you.
Oh no, I thought you'd put in a little bit more, because we're about to finish off now. After you is Sis Landu, and then maybe some parting shots. So are you sure you want to leave it there? Is that the only thing you have to say about the road of women in liberation? Are you sure?
No. I am not sure that I'm done. I thought we still have time. It's okay. I can actually finish this, Ntiki. As I said at first, that segregation, it's the most stumbling block. Women are power, Ntiki, in this sense. If we're not going to advocate for ourselves, no one will. A woman's place, it's not in the kitchen. It is not in the domestic work like we used to say before. We are the role players of this globe. So therefore, all I'm saying now is that how I wish the women of this continent, especially a strategic, a very radical strategic thing that will actually make us to be able to take this baton, because we need to, Unsiki, not that men are not doing enough. You can see women are bullied everywhere. So our job is to make sure that we unite our countries. We unite our fellow African people. We make sure that whenever there's advocacy, whether in the parliaments or in changing of the laws of the country's policies, we are part of it, not this minority that we are. So I'm sure next time, really, I will have more inputs to, because I had some few notes with it and it's off now. So yeah, thank you very much, Mamia, for now. Until next time, thank you, my love.
Thank you, my queen. Mama Yaa, do you want to close off the session for us as the mother who brought us all together?
Yes, I'm sitting next to my daughter who has just come from the March of Trore in Pretoria.
Greetings, my Africa, greetings.
Wish them happy Africa.
Happy Africa Liberation Day, my people. I hope you're well.
Thank you.
So we just need to remember, as women, as queens, as mothers, as aunts, that we are not just what we are liberators. And at the Institute of Africology, we talk about liberating the mind and affirming Africa's greatness. It can really only be done with the commitment of women like yourselves. And for more of these, Sister Nzigi, Africa Day still continues every single day. So we do not need just a day to gather to talk about the Africa we need and the reparations and the repatriation. Our work is important. And every time we tell each other what we are doing, we make sure we are in a circle of awareness of network and network. And I'm a big believer on that. And, you know, my dear Queen Nzigi, I would love to see a forum of just one woman on this forum bringing another young woman and listen to the conversations that older women are having, because that intergenerational reasoning is so imperative. But as our barrister from Nigeria will tell you, we have to up our ante on advocacy. We are still not where we should be in advocating, because we are not engaging through the advocacy rules. So that is my parting shot, and I ask the great ancestors, the great sheroes, the ones who have laid down their lives for us, and whose footsteps and whose shadows we dare to take comfort in. Let us not ever doubt that we will win. And this Africa Liberation Day is about justice for one and justice for all, at home and abroad. One Africa.
Thank you, Mama Yaa. Mona, parting shots?
Yes. My parting shot is, we must, as the best way to put it, we must all find the courage, the Winnie Mandela in us. We must, you know, continue the fight that she started, because it wasn't just about South Africa. It was for the liberation of the continent, and it was for all of us African women. So, you know, we must embrace the power that we have as women, but also embrace the power that we have as African women, because we are the mother continent, and we're the mother continent for a reason. It's not just men that we birth, but our forefathers birthed all nations, because everyone came out of the mother continent. And I think we need to own it, and I think we need to be proud of it. And we just need to let her spirit continue through all of us. Thank you.
Tamaku. Madam President? Madam President RaEbony. Parting shots.
I look forward to seeing. I'm gonna send a link, a flyer, so that you all can join us here, and we all can join each other together. Um, I'm looking forward to the works very much. So this is a powerful panel. Thank you, Dr. Queen Mama Yaa, for your support. And I promise you, it's her energy and energy like hers that keep me going. And I'm just grateful for that enough. I just want to remind you, ladies, have fun. Don't let, we got a lot of work to do. It's a lot of work to be done. But just like and so just dance around this energy, keep dancing, keep being lively, keep enjoying the people, because the part of it is to enjoy your people, enjoy the things around you, and keep that energy going. And that's what we have to uh, maintain while we're working. It's the happiness, the joy, the meaningfulness, the steadfastness is what I wanted to say. So the patience, the patience, the patience. So thank you so much for this panel. This has been very powerful. I'm forever grateful. I'll always remember this. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, so much. The Institute of Africology, whose idea this was, and we're hoping that the Institute of Africology will perhaps make this more a regular thing, because it's actually quite nice to hang out with other women. Very nice. So thank you so much to the Institute of Africology. Thank you, Mona. Thank you, RaEbony. Thank you, Mama Yaa, and the other speakers who were on here earlier on. Thank you so much. We had Nigeria, Jamaica, America. It's been very, very, very nice. So happy Africa Day. And women, the only thing that's still missing is I'm not hearing you guys being ready to take it to the streets, because I'm like, I'm ready to be president, man. So hopefully we'll get there. But everybody, good night and thank you. And we'll see you again next time.